Not go from country before self to a set of values like every man for himself, or let the market sort things out, or let each person rise or fall depending only on their individual initiative.
And yet what we hear in the public dialogue, those are exactly the things that are paired with patriotism, right?
They are, and I think part of the thing that Nick and I were responding to when we decided to turn our rantings and ravings into a little book was the fact that our politics right now, across party lines, our politics is so dominated by a narrow, negative conception of freedom. Freedom meaning only freedom from obligation, freedom from responsibility, freedom from taxation, regulation, any sense of greater good. And our notion was that, in our politics, the only way to trump that kind of narrow, negative kind of freedom talk was to make a greater appeal to something else, and that appeal is to patriotism. If you understand patriotism truly and sincerely, you cannot get to that place. You have to get to a place where someone like Nick can say that his success in the business world is the consequence of a multi-generational legacy of sacrifice by others, and not simply say that, I was born and I suddenly did all these things and it all came to be. Yeah.
So what are the obligations that follow from that legacy of sacrifice?
The central construct is this idea of country before self, and if you unpack it, you get a set of principles which are progressive and lead you towards an idea of community that isn't just every man or every person for themselves. When we wrote this book, and we actually didn't mean to write a book on patriotism. We came to it through the process because when we looked around at where the country stood and reckoned with the terrible challenges that we face, whether it's failing public schools or 50 million Americans without proper health care and insurance, global warming.